So yeah, got my hands on the 2013 Ford Escape, and I'm gonna give y'all a look at it and give my take on it. As you can see, standard stuff. Steering wheel mounted controls. I don't need to repeat the usual, but maybe I do. Cruise, volume all built into the steering wheel. Automatic light system. Always a plus. Automatic lights, you don't have to worry about cutting your lights on when it gets dusk. It automatically comes on. I like that. The windshield is a little different in this vehicle. It has a strange design, a little bit it's unusual. It's not your standard look. As you can see, the gear shift is kind of higher than usual. But you have auto climate controls, which is a plus. Passenger and driver temperature controls. And you can easily turn the power off with that button there. Heated seats are included in this model with the leather seats. You just set your temperature, the amount of heat you want. You can go from 1 to 3. The handling is kind of tight. It's not as smooth as I would like it to be when you turn the wheel, but it's manageable. Heading to the gas station, as usual. Well, this car's already full. Never mind. Anyway, there's your instrument cluster, brightly lit, which is nice. I like the instrument cluster to be lit these days. I think that's a fancy feature when they add that. Now, this is interesting. If you notice the way this radio is set up, it's not the usual setup. Once again, nothing about this SUV is the usual. Everything is kind of different. Like the way the AC vents are laid out. Like if you notice on top of the console, that's how you control your vents up there. But look at this. Look at how you operate the radio system. This is what I kind of don't like about it. I mean, you had a touch screen there, but look at this. Look at how I have to struggle to operate manually. I would rather operate using the screen, but the screen is a little too far away. But the manual controls are laid out flat in front of the screen. This is unusual, and I didn't find it too comfortable. I didn't like that. The volume knob is in the middle. The volume is way over there. Well, I mean, the tuning is way over there. On the far right, it's uncomfortable. I don't like that Ford. Ford has been getting knocked for the way they're laying out their instrument clusters, and I see why. It's a no-no. It's too unnecessarily cumbersome and confusing. Now, look around the cabin here. You get the leather seats, much like last year's Fords with those dents in the middle. That's the way they make their things look, I guess. And up above, you have your controls for lights and everything else. Power locks, soft touch material around the panel. But something about this SUV still feels kind of cheap to me. I mean, that's hard plastic up top there, some of it. But for the most part, it's soft touch materials. But something about it just doesn't feel like all this in here, all this on the panel is plastics. That's where your CD goes. You have Microsoft Sync built in as usual with Ford. But I just don't know. It's just something that's not quite right about it. I mean, aside from the way it's designed a little different than usual. It just, the steering is a little too tight for my liking. It's a little too irritating to work the controls. I'm sure if I spent more time with it, I would get used to it and learn to live with it. But I just don't like it. I don't even like the way that looks with that cluster in the middle right there. They should have just made it a screen and put the controls underneath like in the rest of the Fords. But oh well. It's not a large SUV. It's like a intermediate, so it's roomy, but not tremendously so. And you have your nice little cup holder in the back for the passengers that fold down. A lot of vehicles do that now. There was a safety recall on these Escapes earlier in the year, like when they first released, with some kind of mechanical issue, like the engine was just, I might be wrong, but it was something about fire, like something with the fuel system was just causing them to catch on fire. So you want to look out for that and make sure it's been maintenance. In here you have your extra USB connections, your MP3 connections, and your charger. Standard stuff. Well, pretty much standard. All cars don't do it, but hey, If you're looking for a mid-size SUV, I guess this is a pretty decent option. It's not my favorite. So let me give y'all my final take on it and my final review number. Let's check it out.